Hey everyone, welcome to Eat the Magic Escapade Edition. This is our pseudo podcast kind of thing where we're going to talk about our adventures at the park. Today I have with me someone who's making a lot of squeaky noises on the chair there.
Squeak, squeak. I'm a Disney cat. Sometimes you could call me Eri K.
And today we are talking about 80s Nite. What a night.
Maybe for first-time listeners, you
something.
should introduce yourself, Jay.
First, this is on my Eat the Magic channel. Okay, fine. And I, of course, am your host, Jay from Eat the Magic, the guy who eats food, who you've probably seen on videos eating food.
He is very experienced with eating food. He is, in fact, an eater of food.
I am the master of eating.
Anyway, let's talk about 80s Nite. So this is our first episode of Eat the Magic Escapades. And, let's just talk about our adventures in the park and just kind of little things that happen here and there in the park. So we're mainly going to be focusing on Southern California theme parks, namely Knott's and Disneyland, since they're right in our neighborhood. Yay, that's the real OC.
It's also what I cover for most of my food videos, because I don't get to go to Florida all the time, though I should. I want to live in the world where I can go to Florida all the time.
You just want to live in Florida just so you can yell at hurricanes.
Hey, that was an awesome dream. And I stand by that. I will totally yell at a hurricane if I'm ever against one.
Disney World, where dreams come true. And for Jay's dream, it's yelling at a hurricane. Anywho, so 80s Nite. So 80s Nite was announced sometime in late November when they were announcing the Disneyland After Dark series. So Disneyland, there's an After Dark series of events throughout the year where the park closes for the general public and is open and has themed event nights. This is kind of similar to the after hours events over in Disney World, but these have special theming to them. So they come at an extra cost, but there are some bonuses and perks. And we'll discuss if we thought 80s Nite was worth the $100 price tag. Sometimes these events sell out pretty fast. I know Star Wars Night, the first Star Wars Night sold out pretty fast, so much so they had to add a second one. And that one did. I remember Night 2 didn't sell out, even though they had Ray Parker. Ray Park?
Ray Park.
Okay, my bad. And they also had the
Ray Parker would be the guy who did
Ghostbusters.
Although that'd have been a really interesting guest.
Something strange.
Oh, speaking of guests we should have had for 80s Nights. Who the hell's Ray Parker Jr.?
That'd been awesome.
Sing that one song you sing.
And 90s Nite, they did that last year, and that sold out pretty fast. And they actually recreated the Disney Afternoon Avenue.
Yeah, I didn't get to go to that.
Yeah, I think I had work that evening, so I'm wanted to go, but just timing didn't work out. It's I'll see what they bring back the following year. So these After Dark events, there's a specialty theme. This year they have announced their second edition of Sweethearts Night, which is basically it's a Valentine's event in February. And then there's also Pixar Night, and then there's also Villains Night. So I'm kind of curious about Villains Night, but when we went to Villains After Dark at Disney World, that really set the bar high. And by setting the bar high, they were giving out free popcorn and ice cream and water and soda. Oh yeah, and Hades also had his own show, which was pretty awesome.
There was a live stage show with actual actors as the various characters. The castle changing colors based on whoever was on screen using their magic to change the color of a snap of their finger. And they also redid audio for Space Mountain. So you have Maleficent being I'm casting the spell of evil and sending you into the darkness, something, something, Kingdom Hearts.
And it was a lot of fun.
Me without my Riku cosplay. What the heck?
Yeah, you probably had the chance to cosplay as Riku over at Villains Night in California Adventure.
Yeah.
I know,
change the audio to Incredicoaster to be Syndrome going now everyone will be special, which means no one will be. Just go for it on the ride.
Because I really want to do Villains Night, but I know in the back of my mind I'm gonna start comparing it to Florida. And I have a lot of special memories with Villains After Hours in Florida because, that was our first visit to the Magic Kingdom. So it has a lot of sentimentalness, nostalgia with me. But we'll see how it plays out. I have my Maleficent outfit ready to go. And the nice thing about Villains Night happening in spring is we don't have to worry about Florida humidity, so we can actually cosplay.
That would be nice.
Because you ended up just bounding as Xemnas in the Kingdom Arts Apparel shirt, and I just ended up bounding as a Haunted Mansion maid, because it was also not only my birthday, but the Haunted Mansion birthday. I share... It's like, no wonder why I live in Haunted Mansion. We share the same birthday.
Yay.
So let's talk about 80s Nite. So 80s Nite, let's see, happened January 29th, and they were promising some special entertainment, some food here and there, character meet and greets, which these events typically have.
Which is really the thing to go after. I'm just going to tangent here real quick, because I've only gone to 2 previous these nights. Star Wars Night and Heroes Night. I think the only 2 I've done.
Yes, those are the only
excluding
after dark
We'll exclude Florida out
hours.
of any of this stuff. And the one thing I will say out of both, the best part was the character meet and greets, because it's always characters you don't normally get. And especially on Heroes Night, where you had basically the Fab Five, Chip Dale, a couple others, bounding as Marvel characters.
And that was really cute. I really liked the Marvel outfits. Minnie was Spider-Gwen, and Daisy was Black Widow. Donald was Hulk, very appropriately.
Yep.
So the characters the characters they had here for 80s Night, we had the Ewoks from Return of the Jedi. We had Mickey Mouse in his Mouser size outfit. We had the Brer clan from Splash Mountain. From that.
Let's just say they're just from Splash Mountain. Let's just go for that.
Okay. We also
bring up a movie that hasn't aged well.
We also have Ariel and Friend.
And I think it's supposed to be, Splish Splash Ariel with the tail, right?
Yes, I believe so. I haven't seen photos coming out.
I am looking for them right now, in fact.
Of Ariel during the character meet and greet. Our friend, Just Your Vintage Girl, on Instagram is like, hey, take pictures with Ariel for me. It's like, we'll try. Can't guarantee anything. We did see Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket outside of Pinocchio's Daring Adventures.
It was a crazy line for them.
And it's like, whoa. I mean, you see Geppetto like in the morning in Fantasyland every now and then. It's like, but it's a rarity to see Pinocchio and Jiminy outside of roaming around Fantasyland.
I'd also point out that Geppetto is terrifying. They need to just get like an old dude and give him like a fake mustache and stuff. Like, not the weird face thing they have reminds me of those 7 dwarves from opening day. Look it up, people.
Nightmare fuel. What's not nightmare fuel is Roger Rabbit just hanging out outside the Toontown gates, but that line was wicked long.
Yeah, if you were going to get Roger Rabbit, you should have, kind of like going for at Halloween where they had Kingdom Hearts, Goofy, and Donald. You had to just kind of say, when's that lineup starting at? 6 o'clock? Okay. When's the character going to be there? 7:30? Worth it. And I think it's kind of the thing, if you wanted to get Roger Rabbit, you had to go line up at, 7 or something like that, so that when he pops up at 8 o'clock, you're like, aha! Got a picture for Roger.
We also had Rex over at Star Tours.
Who we got a picture with.
That was our first photo up of the night.
And I will be posting that photo of me with Rex on my Eat the Magic Instagram plug. And it's great because it looks like Rex is reaching for my crotch. And it looks like I'm about to hit him. It's like, oh, fresh.
We also have the DuckTales cast over at Main Street USA. We kind of missed out on the character meet and greet and all the photo ops in Main Street because we were mostly in like the further areas of Disneyland.
Well, because there's certain photo op zones we had to go to. Well, one I demanded we go to.
And we also ran into R2-D2. He had a C-3PO with him, but we also we did a photo op with R2-D2 over at Galaxy's Edge.
It was actually a person in a suit, which was nice. We didn't have the chance yet. He was on break or whatever, but we got R2, which is still pretty cool. Not like I couldn't do it at almost any con, but still pretty cool.
It's just nice to just have a photo with R2-D2. And I like the fact they do acknowledge the 80s Star Wars movies, because like the 80s Star Wars movies were my favorites of the Star Wars.
It's a lot of people's favorites. In
franchise.
fact, if they could make a whole theme park section that was dedicated to those 80s Star Wars movies, it would be nonstop packed with people.
You know, been totally awesome if they like just for 80s Night just change like Batu, because I know like it's supposed to be part of
blah blah blah. No one cares. It means nothing. Life is meaningless.
If they would like just do it Empire era. And another thing I was kind of hoping for that would be a surprise for 80s Night, I had like tempered expectations, is they would like at least have like two of the ride vehicles in Star Tours, because they have 4 ride vehicles, have the original Star Tours ride on there with Captain Rex screwing it up. Like, yeah, we passed the Endor moon.
That would be great. I just think logistically it'd be very difficult for them to do, primarily because I think the inner part of the machine that does all the 3D stuff, I think it's completely different. And I'm not sure if they could just plug in a module that just plays the original. Which is unfortunate because, yeah, I was with you. It was one thing of like, if they have that, this will be the greatest 80s night of all time.
I would have loved to have that on.
Hell, I'll go to
there.
Star Wars night if all they have to announce is Endor Express, and I'm like, I'm in. What's the ticket cost? $400? In. I don't care. Endor Express.
Yeah, I would have loved it if they had it there, but understandably so. Like the logistics would have been like a little too funky. Let's see. I think I'd also been okay if they had like Captain EO there, but I know there's been quite bits of controversy.
It's probably not do Captain EO.
Yeah.
They played enough of that guy's music though, so yeah. We heard so many Michael Jackson hits. I'm like, I like how we're allowed to play his music. We just can't reference the guy or say his name or any of that kind of stuff.
I mean, I still sing along to Beat It to Weird Al's Eat It.
I feel like eventually they're just going to change it whenever they play. It's like, hey, we got that King of Pop, so like it's just going to be retcon his name to King of Pop. like in other shows, like in Gem, if they ever needed to like introduce like famous people, they would just change them just enough, but then they could have them on there. And I feel like we're going to do that, so we can still enjoy his music, but we're just going to change his name to like something else.
Jim actually did have like young Michael Jackson, like Jackson 5 era Michael Jackson. I think his name was like Dominic or something like that. Dominic Lerner.
I don't know. That's too esoteric for me.
No, yeah, he totally had Jackson 5, Michael Jackson on Gems and Holograms during like that Gem Jam 2-parter where they had like...
Is that the one with like not Sting, but it's totally Sting?
Not Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Not George Michael. Not Madonna. Not was Bruce Springsteen? Yeah.
It was Bruce Springsteen. Yeah.
It was Johnny Deacon. Not Tina Turner.
It's a great episode, people. You go watch the Gem Fest episode. It's just, if you love 80s nostalgia stuff, and that show was written by
Christy Marks,
so it actually holds up pretty well, as most Christy Marks stuff does.
Anywho, yeah, let's talk about some nightly entertainment. So they had to cancel the fireworks.
Yeah, the winds were kicking up. They calmed down later in the evening. By the time the fireworks were supposed to happen, they were calmed. The wind seemed calm enough. I think they could have just said, "Oh no, we're doing it." But they did not.
Because they usually have specialty fireworks for these After Dark events, because you and I, we caught the Star Wars one, which is pretty cool because they had like fire on top of the Sleeping Beauty castle to duel the fates, and that was awesome.
Yeah, it's curious to see what they could have ended up doing with that, what music they would have played. I think it would have been a lot of, nostalgic-y TV themes and movie themes from that era.
So in place of that, they just reran Mickey's Mixed Magic, which was a nighttime entertainment show from a while back where they had projections on Main Street, and you just heard like your typical run-of-the-mill 2010s greatest hits type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not really 80s. Like, they did what they can. Because usually after fireworks, that's when everything just kind of transitions to like, okay, we're going to show all the 80s projections, and we're just going to just show them off. And, yeah, I really like what they did with It's a Small World, because they had 80s night projections on there. We didn't get to see the castle or the Matterhorn with all the 80s projections, because we were mostly in Tomorrowland and in Fantasyland and parts of Frontierland. Let's talk about the food. So, food starts at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick, shall we?
Alright, so, the event technically starts at 9 o'clock, but you're allowed to come in 3 hours before. You're allowed to come in at 6 o'clock. But they were still, they were also still letting people in, around 5:30, 5:45. We were able to get in around, 5:45.
Which was nice. There was a big line, too. There's a lot of people coming in for 80s night. Which was cool. I mean, a lot of people are dressed up and what have you, and we got in a little early, and you're sitting there okay, we're allowed in at 6 o'clock. Well, they're going to allow me to have my Sloppy Joe at 6 o'clock, because that'll be a great review option, and I haven't had any lunch or breakfast today. What did I have that day? I think I had 2 pieces of mochi and a granola bar. It was my entire food of that day. And I was like, yeah, let's do this.
This guy was prepping for 80s night.
Yeah,
let's eat the magic. Let's eat all the food here.
Because I always do a whole thing of I ate too much and I feel sick now. But I'm if I just skip a couple meals. I can go here and just kick some ass and have some tasty times.
Because at these things, sometimes they actually have like the food out earlier. Because I know they had some of the photo ops earlier. Because we were able to get our Captain Rex photo op around 7 o'clock.
Yeah, which was great. It was like almost exactly when it started up or what have you. And I forgot that. And it was great because the line wasn't that long. We got several different photos in different poses. And it's Captain Rex. I could have used, like, him talking. That would have been nice. Or even if it was just, like, little, like, is this your first time? Well, it's mine, too. Like,
still getting used to my programming.
You know, like, it's just something silly he could say after you get done with the photo would just be nice. 'Cause he has enough one-liners that they could do that. Plus, Paul Rubens recorded some new one-liners for Galaxy's Edge, where he's the DJ. I don't know why you would take a pilot robot and make it a DJ, but sure, why not? I don't care, whatever. Nothing has any meaning anymore. But it was really cool to see him, and it made me happy. Like, the rare moment that Star Wars makes me happy. Because it's something from my childhood that makes me happy. And it's not super member berries. It's like, hey, we still have the robot. Do you want to pose with the robot? And I'm like, yes, I do. Thank you.
Yeah, speaking of berries, you try the gummy berry juice.
I would figure to get to food after we finish all the character meet. Did you ever finish all the character meet and greets? No, just free photo op-y things. And
oh, yes. There's character meet and greets and there's photo ops.
So we did... The photo op that I had to do was the Tron section. I had to. I just underlined twice. I have to do the Tron section. And they gave you a little cardboard disc, so you could have your data disc. And...
They're also playing some of the ambient music from the original Tron
From the original
movie.
ones. So you're not getting the Daft Punk songs. You're getting the original, like... early 80s techno, and I really very much appreciate it. Nice trance music, it's great.
And they also had like props from the movies, like parts of the costumes, and they also had like the poster promoting like World of Tron.
In the People Mover, oh my god. Little things like that, that's what makes me happy. That's the stuff I like. And I was able to do the photo, and I even did the whole, can I do the movie poster like over my head thing? And the camera guy was already prepared for that. He's like, yep, hands up, no. Turn your hands a little more. Okay, yeah. Shift your head. Look straight up at it. Don't look towards me because I know you want to look towards the camera. Don't look towards the camera. Look at the disc. And he took the photo, and I was just like, got my like movie poster pose.
And there's hardly a line for that photo op. It was just a pain just walking up that ramp up to Carousel of Progress. Oh wait, no, it's
yes, one. It's not.
I keep calling it Carousel of Progress.
Yeah, I called America Sings, and I went to neither on the West Coast. So. The thing, I actually called Interventions when I was called Stupid Thing. But it wasn't well, like, advertised that it was up there. Like, when we entered Launch Bay on the first floor, where they have all the Star Wars stuff. And they had some, like, merch stuff. And I'm like, well, this is cool. And then we asked the person, like, where's the Tron stuff? Like, I think maybe it's upstairs. I'm like, one, you should know whether or not it's upstairs. And they had the stairs roped off. So instead of entering it from the first floor, going up those stairs and into the second floor, you had to leave the building, ramp. Go around, go up the ramp, up into the second floor to then do stuff. Which would be fine if there were signs or people who could lead us the right direction. Now, granted, we know our way around. We're not stupid. We've been to the park 1,000 times. It's more the point if that's a really inconvenient route to take. And if I didn't know there was a Tron thing, I wouldn't have known there was a Tron thing. Now, I'm sure it says it somewhere on the little program guide thing that they gave us, and maybe if I'd taken the time to look through that, I would have known. But I knew ahead of time because stuff was posted ahead of time. Thank you. I do appreciate the posted ahead of time. Visually impaired people like the posted ahead of time stuff. It makes life easier for us.
And shout out to Gothic Rosie, Disneyland Facebook page, for posting all this information prior to the event. Shout out to you, girl.
Yeah, that was very helpful. So we got that, which was good. I know we also did a photo op with they have a movie clacker thing.
Yes, as part of the Totally Mini show that they had over at the Tomorrowland Terrace.
That's what I was going to get to. They were doing a Totally Mini show, for those who remember that from the 80s.
We have to review that for our podcast.
Oh, do we have to, though?
Yes, it has to do with theme parks, because they did film part of that in Hollywood Studios.
So does the 35th anniversary of the Cheers segment, but that doesn't mean I need to...
No, I would like for us, like, for our filler shows, just so we can keep on a consistent schedule, to, like, discuss some of these Disneyland, Disney World specials in series.
But I'm not rewatching any of that, the Friday night... What the heck was the Friday night block called? TGIF. I'm not like reviewing any of that TGIF.
No,
goes to Disney
Tony
World garbage.
Goldmark does a great job at that.
Yeah,
Go watch his stuff. I'm talking about the...
I watched that through one time when it was the first time it was ever airing, and I regret it. So, oh yeah, okay, fine. We can go over Totally Mini at some other point. But they had it there, and the premise was that for the show, and people got to be in the show, which is one of those fun things. I like when they do that. And not people get to be in the show like you got to go up on stage with Minnie, but more the point of you get to... The premise is they're shooting a music video for Minnie's new hit Minnie song or something. And so Donald is the director, Goofy is the choreographer, and Goofy tells you how to do the dance moves, and then you do the dance moves. You can see it actually in my review video. I believe there's a clip of that.
Yes, there's a clip towards the end of the Totally Mini dance party.
So yeah, we have a clip of that. But they have the little director's clacker where it actually says, choreographer Goofy, Donald, cameraman Pluto, which seems like a bad choice to me. I don't know if I would let a dog be my camera person. What if he gets distracted by a squirrel, or he falls asleep? I'm just saying, I don't know if dogs are the most reliable camera people. But that was a photo op there, so you could get that. And I know there's like one or two others, and they're not coming to me. I know there's at least a couple other photo op.
There was a Fantasyland map right by Alice. That line was
that's right.
wicked long.
That had the old versus the new setup. That looked interesting.
That looked cute. Like not a high priority, but I did like the design and the aesthetic of it. Because I think that the new Fantasyland opened up in 1983 when it went from like this carnival-looking thing, kind of like what Disney World's Magic Kingdom's Fantasyland looks like, all the gray stone and the flags.
Yeah, the medieval kind of thing.
And we got like a Bavarian kind of aesthetic to ours.
Which, I mean...
I like it.
Between Snow White and Sleeping Beauty and... There's only two that came from that region. But, we have a couple that are from there. Mr. Toad did not come from that region, nor did Pinocchio. I don't want to be like Mr. Guy who knows stuff about the origins of stories, but it's what I know that stuff. But overall, photo episodes are pretty cool, and lines depended. Honestly. Like I said, Tron, there was like almost no one there. The mini thing, there was like no one there. But I think a lot of people wanted to watch the show, so that's why probably if the show wasn't going on, it probably would have been a longer line.
Yeah, I really like the
unique
map shows for
people.
this event. And there was also another photo op in the Main Street Opera House where you can take photo ops with the clamshell VHS cases of various Disney 80s movies. Which
is pretty cool too. Used to own a lot of those.
Yeah, I had the Little Mermaid clamshell, I had the Beauty and the Beast clamshell.
Mm-hmm.
I also had the Great Muppet Caper clamshell.
Oh, fun.
It came with a free watch.
Huh.
Anywho.
So, they had that, and if we're going to go into shows, I think we need to talk about the biggest show.
Yes, Videopolis. This was, to me, it was worth the ticket.
Yeah, I got to point out that, I have some complaints, and I'll get to those and when we finish, we get to wrap-up point, but oh my gosh. Not only did they have Videopolis, but they changed the snack bar next to Mickey's Magical Map, I think is what it is currently.
It's now the Fantasyland
Theater. That's what they call it, right?
Yes, Fantasyland Theater, showing Mickey's Magical Map. So there's like a little snack bar, kind of a place called Troubadour Tavern.
That's what it is.
And they renamed it to Yumz, which is what it was back in the 80s when it opened. Fantasyland Theater, what it used to be was Videopolis back in the mid to late 80s. It was only open for a couple of years. And I remember, I actually do have nostalgia for Videopolis because anytime we would go to Disneyland with my family, my uncle and his guy friends would just go out there and dance. And then my mom would take me on the Fantasyland dark rides. She would take me on It's a Small World, Pinocchio, while they were out dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on in my life, I kind of learned what Videopolis was for the gay community, and that's awesome. I actually do have video footage of we do have video footage of my uncle and his guy friends dancing on the stage.
Even though I think the intention was to get hip with the kids, because
yes,
it's showing MTV music videos and it's just dance to whatever the current pop hits are. And it was supposed to be getting hip with the kids, but it got hip with a crowd that wasn't really as publicly accepted back in the 80s, which is nice. Look, I'm glad there's Red Shirt Day, and I'm glad they had Videopolis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really need to bring back Videopolis as a Friday, Saturday night event. That would really bring in a lot of life to that area and the park in the evening, because if Videopolis, Disneyland, if you had Videopolis open on the weekends, I would totally be there. I'm normally tired on a Friday after work, and I normally like to take naps right after work. But you know what? I'm willing to drive down Catella, get my groove on, and then wake up the next day. You know.
I'd go, but it's the same time as Miami Vice, so yeah, it's not happening. Gotta watch Miami Vice. Gotta find out what happens to Tubbs and Crockett.
They do stuff and things.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen this week?
More
We're getting
stuff.
Special guest star
things.
Sheila E. It's gonna be great. I love Sheila E.
I love Sheila E. She lives a glamorous life.
She does. She has a good solo album. Check it out, folks. I
Yeah,
reviewed it years ago.
Videopolis was totally amazing. Like, again, I was like 3 years old when it was at its heyday, and just kind of like just hearing about, like, yeah, I would have loved to dance at an 80s club type of setup where I feel safe, where I don't feel like I'm going to be hit on or being approached by some drunk idiot. Because there used to be this place in Vegas. It was called the Whiskey A Go-Go kind of thing, or was it the Bourbon Room?
I think it's a Bourbon Room because the Whiskey Go-Go is the famed club in L.A.
Yeah, my brother played there a few times.
Yeah.
So
did my dad.
Mm-hmm. There was this club. You're right. It's a Bourbon Room, and they had like 80s music videos, and it's like, hey, this reminds me of like Videopolis, and it wasn't really a club. It was more like a lounge that played 80s music videos and had a dance floor. I was there one time because I was just getting tired of this BS from this event across the street that I came to Vegas for. It was like this hot rod show. It's like, it's not really my scene. So I'm like, I'll just go to the 80s bar and just dance. And that was fun, but the last couple times I went to Vegas, I always get like hit on by creepy drunk guys who are usually in town for a conference. But I'm like, here I am at Videopolis. I don't have to worry about this kind of anxiety. It was a lot of fun. They had a great mix of a lot of 80s songs. It's not the same 10 songs that you hear on K-Earth 101. They have a good mix of freestyle, hip-hop, even Morrissey.
Yeah, that was kind of the downer where it was like everything was going good. It's like, oh man, cool, yeah, they played Hungry Like the Wolf. Oh, they played
they played a lot of hairband stuff. They had
played
Bon Jovi.
Flock of Seagulls, hairband stuff. They played
stuff on your brother's wedding.
Yeah, stuff for my brother's wedding. And then they played Morrissey, and it was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. And it was like, oh, I guess this is the part where we have to go pee or something. It's just like, why did you throw this on, DJ? And you're like, oh, Morrissey, he was popular in the 80s. Like, yeah, so was The Cure, but no one really wants to go dance to a Cure song. And I love The Cure, but I'm telling you, that's not danceable music.
That's music you listen to while you're driving or just kind of in deep think.
Yeah. Like, they were smart enough to play Duran Duran's Hungry Like the Wolf, not one of their other, like, low, like, they didn't play The Chauffeur or something like that, where it's like, oh, well, this is depressing, thanks. If they played any Depeche Mode, they're probably not going to play Stripped. They're probably going to play,
they did
Just
play
Can't Get
Depeche
Enough.
Mode as we were walking out, but I forgot what song it was, but you were able to tell what it was.
Yeah, it was. I just can't remember now, but yes. For the most part, they try to keep it all upbeat, and I do appreciate that. But occasionally you get those random songs where you're like, what? And
I just like how everyone just got their phones out and started taking video stage when Axel F came on. It's like, wait, how are you supposed to dance to this? But I do appreciate the fact that they played it. Because, like, I love Beverly Hills Cop, and it was just like, bring Mushu on stage.
I'm sure someone has the video of you yelling that.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You had some gummy berry juice, and now you're sugar high. Look at you.
I love that gummy berry juice.
That was great. Well, you're totally going to get to it. I promise, folks, we will get to food. The food story is great, but I want to just cover all the entertainment stuff before we get to food. Fireworks are canceled. We talked about that. I think that might cover all the major
At least the ones that we went to. I mean, there was a DJ on Main Street. There was also a
did
live
listen to
band
that. There's
thing.
video of me dancing to that.
Yeah, and there's also a live band out in...
Oh, yeah, there was a live band. We listened to them
Rivers
for a
America.
bit. Yeah. They weren't that great.
Yeah, when it comes to, like, 80s live music, I'm just not really into the live band type of things. I just... Maybe because I had, like, a couple bad experiences with, like, 80s cover bands, because I remember, like, my university, they had, like, an 80s night. It's like, yeah, we're going to listen to, like, all the greatest hits. They're probably going to have shows and music videos and all this type of thing. Like, we're just going to play some of the mustache rock from the 80s. Like, okay, we're out.
80s cover bands have problems. Some can be really, really good, and some can be really terrible. They got a very low tier one where half the time you're like, I don't know what this song is. I'm like, oh, you will when the chorus comes around. Just wait for it. I can tell what chords these are, and I know what song this is. But half the 80s songs, I'm like, oh god, it's the one that goes that like, you met me in a hotel bar. That one is true, and you're like, that doesn't help. You are the worst at trying to sing songs. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's a crappy missing person song. But the thing is, when it's a bad... I've heard some good 80s cover bands at Tomorrowland when they used to do that.
Yes, I remember there was a really great AC/DC cover band.
I heard one that just did random hair band stuff. But either way, they had some good ones, and then that was not a good one. That was a weak... That was weak. And so much so that we were like, oh, to hell with this. Let's just go on Pirates of the Caribbean. We did Pirates, we did something else. Well, just trying to avoid mediocre to bad music.
Oh, we went on Big Mountain Thunder.
Big Thunder Mountain, that was the other one, you're right. So we did those couple of things just to be like, yeah, this music blows, let's go on a ride. And by the way, Big Thunder Mountain in the Dark, highly recommended. If you have not done that yet, get that on your get done list.
I know also, Matterhorn in the Dark.
Matterhorn in the Dark.
I like that too.
that was actually legitimately scary because half the time I'm like, oh god, I'm going to slam into that wall. And we didn't, because it's designed to be optical illusions. And while it still pales in comparison to Everest, to the greatest Yeti-themed ride, it's still really, really good.
Well, Matterhorn has the Abominable Snowman. Albino
Bigfoot-themed ride. Disco Yeti is still best Yeti. Take that, Harold. But okay, food time?
Yes, food time. All right, you're the food person.
Okay.
You're the eater of food.
So now we're back to that whole food thing we were saying earlier that I wanted to get the other stuff done first. Food didn't start till 9, so none of the unique food was until 9. But I'm freaking starving at 6:15. We went to Red Rose Tavern to have the sloppy joe. Because I'm like, okay, it's a classic thing from my childhood, and even though it's a little bit pedestrian, maybe they'll do something fun with it. Who knows? And we can't get it. And I'm like, well, I want to eat something, and I don't want to wait until 9 because I need food. So we ended up grabbing an assortment of food from Red Rose Tavern to make a completely unrelated 80s Nite video because I needed food.
You can watch that on our channel.
And then after that, we did rides and whatever. And when it finally got to 9, I ended up trying 3 different things from the event. I tried the cheddar and bacon popcorn.
That's a mistake.
That was a mistake, yeah. The totally chocolate churro, which was freaking fantastic.
Shout out to Just Your Vintage Girl for the recommendation.
Yep, and for those who want to know, it basically tastes like Nestle Quick Powder or crumpled
Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, thank you. And so covering a churro, the churro is a chocolate churro, so it's not even like a regular churro. It's a chocolate churro with the crumbly stuff, and then you get like a marshmallow fluff dipping thing if you want. I tried that for the video, but I think the thing is better without it.
I really liked it with the dipping sauce.
Yeah.
I had to disagree with you there.
Yeah. It gives it more of a s'mores flavor, but again, like I said, I think I'd like it without. I like just having that kick, that sugar chocolate flavor from my childhood. Is like, oh god, this is nostalgia. And then we got the gummy berry juice, which is the #1 favorite thing, underlined twice, of the night. And I want them to make this a standard item. It is basically a Hawaiian Punch slush, and it has the thick whipping cream on top, and then it's supposed to have gummy bears on top of the thick whipping cream, but apparently they did not get a large of enough shipment from Germany, so they ran out when we finally got our drink. The line was super crazy long for that too. It wasn't one of those like, oh yeah, we were like, we just walked right up. No. We were like number 400 in line to get that.
Because there was like no line for the totally chocolate churro or the bacon popcorn.
Well, when I heard people going like, hey, do you want popcorn? And they're just like, nah, I don't feel like it. I walked past my good, so I don't have to warn them. But yeah, both the cart things were fine. I think we walked past a couple other carts that seemed like, yeah, it's like not much of a line. But man, Yums was like, I'm not even sure what else was on the menu, but that was a line.
Yeah, let's see what else was at Yums. You had the Mickey pretzel with cheese, gummy berry juice, foot-long hot dog. Foot-long hot dog with bacon mac and cheese.
That might be the other thing people are going for. If you're getting hungry at that time of night, you want that mac and cheese, shorten your lifespan hot dog. I could see people going for that.
And while we were in line for yums, we ran into Justin Scart of Random Land Adventures. Yeah. That was pretty cool. Like, you can actually see us in his 80s Nite video around the 9-minute mark.
He'll make a comment about, like, everyone has awesome 80s costumes. It's just, like, me dressed from an anime, and you dressed like a shiny thing.
I like dressing a shiny thing from Epcot.
Yes, you're Epcot Shiny Ball, and I'm from an animes.
Do you want to just quickly talk about what we wore?
We may as well, since we just finished food. You can go first, because you're Shiny Ball.
Yes, so in 1982, Epcot opened in Florida. So yes, I was bounding something from Florida at Disneyland. And Disneyland was just highlighting all their achievements in the 80s. They had like this board over in right outside of King Arthur's Carousel, just like, yeah, here's some achievements we had in the 80s at our parks. And like, I'm just gonna bound as the giant golf ball thingy from Epcot, aka Spaceship Earth. So I wanted to just do an 80s twist to it because I love Spaceship Earth. I love what it represents. And I went on it for the first time last year because it was our first visit to Walt Disney World. And like, I love Epcot. And I'm looking forward to what it's going to evolve into next. I mean, I wish I could go back in a time machine and just like visit Epcot in its heyday, but even though I haven't been to the Epcot that a lot of people feel so much nostalgia for, I had a great time when I went to Epcot for the first time, and I don't know, there's just something about Epcot that just really sparks joy in me because I like space exploration. I really like World Showcase. I can't really quantify into words how much, to me, that Epcot sparks so much joy and just memories from my first visit to Disney World. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to bound as Spaceship Earth. Also because Epcot opened in 1982, and my cover image for my social media profile is from Disneyland. If you're not following Disneyland on Instagram or Facebook, do it. Their joke phrase for Spaceship Earth is the "not now will be now soon." So I just was making that joke the whole time, like, yeah, the "not now will be now soon." The original text is the 21st century begins October 1st, 1982. And yeah, that was my bound. Did something 80s to it. Designed and created by me, so I bought the fabric on a rainy day in Los Angeles. Decided to like just sew everything over my holiday break while watching this anime called Zeta Gundam, and had a great time wearing it. Got a lot of compliments, and yeah, those shoes killed my feet. I bought shoes from online from Forever 21, so I didn't try the shoes on beforehand. Had I known that they were gonna pinch my my toes, I would have got like some sort of shoehorn to make that shoe a little bit wider. So lessons learned.
Or just gone 1/2 size up.
This is true.
That'd probably been the better choice.
Anywho, Jay, talk about what you wore.
I was hyper indecisive, so much so that I had dumb ideas from everyone in my life telling me different things to go as. And eventually, I just dug out my brand new Gundam cosplay as Captain Bright Noah, and that's what I wore.
He's from the 80s, kind of.
In defense, the TV series started in 1979, but it concluded in 1980. It was then turned into 3 movies.
In 81 and 82.
In 81 and 82.
And the sequel series in 85.
Which features my character as the main captain again. And then a follow-up series to that, I believe in 86 or 87, where he is also the captain of the ship. And then a conclusive, sort of, movie in 1988, where he is also the captain of the ship. And although he gets different ships in each one of those series, but whatever. He is the captain. And while I didn't have anyone coming up to me saying, "Oh, Captain, my captain," which is kind of annoying, because I wanted someone to eventually say that to me. But I did, it's a Longfellow. No, it's not. It's Walt Whitman. It's Walt frickin' Whitman. The guy that Homer Simpson hates. But that was fun. I was like the only animes there. So
I did see a Luigi cosplayer running around. That was pretty awesome.
If I thought about the video game thing, I don't have any 80s video game characters. I probably could have bounded something kind of fun from 80s.
Original Snake from Metal Gear.
Well, it means I just have to look like Kyle Reese from Terminator. Oh my god, I have everything to do as Kyle Reese from Terminator. I have the trench coat, the junky clothes, brown hair. I could have done it.
You could.
I don't think anyone would know it's Kyle Reese. I think they're just like, oh, that guy must be really cold. He has a trench coat.
Some other costumes I've seen. There was a Ducky and Molly Ringwald from Pretty in Pink. I saw a lot of Marty McFlys.
Yeah, and we saw a Doc. And
some of the most common outfits I saw were like the jazzercise type of outfits. So
yeah,
people did balance it jazzercise. Yeah. I saw a lot of the jean jackets, the crinkle hair with the scrunchies, top knot ponytails. Saw a lot of the foofy skirts. I was wearing a foofy skirt, plus leg warmers, blue eyeshadow. So yeah, I really like seeing people getting dressed up. I also saw a couple guys just wearing like the those, I forgot what brand had these. I think it was Nautica or something. It was like the windbreakers that were like neon colored. And I also saw like
that was a thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I also saw like a couple guys wearing those like 80s tennis short shorts.
No. We saw a couple guys going either as Don Johnson or just dressing like Don Johnson. It's hard to tell. I should say, like Crockett, like Sonny Crockett, or they're just dressing like Don Johnson. I don't quite know. I think the look from the 80s that we didn't see that upset me was no one did giant sweater with belt. Giant sweater with belt was popular. Later 80s, but it was a thing. Do you know giant sweater? You know what I'm talking about, giant sweater belt?
Yeah, I had a Barbie outfit that consisted of giant sweater and belt.
What other weird 80s looks were there that I was gonna... No one really did like the punk rocker thing. I ain't seen punk rocker people.
I saw a lot of hairband people.
Hairband people, but
mostly
like,
from the guy's end.
Yeah, but no one wearing like the like the leather jacket, like the spike hair, or any of that kind of stuff.
I didn't really see like any like all out punks, but I saw like a lot of all out hair bands.
I could have used some more Ramones. That's all I'm saying.
Had Rolling Stones killed.
And then, God, when we were at Tron, there those three guys that were wearing like silver outfits, and I don't know if they were supposed to be, but they were all wearing like shiny matching outfits, and it made me lament not bringing Gilgamesh in his shiny gold outfits, which is just tacky enough to be 80s. And everyone would be like, holy crap, you found a gold suit. I'm like, I did. Behold my grandeur. My loyal subjects. I'm bringing him back. I'm going to bring him back for a show, I promise. It's going to happen. No one else listening knows anything I'm referencing, which is fine. I don't care.
He's referencing his wrestling career.
Yes, my wrestling career. So, overall, like I said, I think we've covered all kind of the positive stuff. Do you want to get to some of our issues?
Yes. The question being is, I felt like there's a lot to do and see, but in a very small amount of time. If any of you have seen Justin Scard's video on 80s Nite, like, he was just boom, boom, boom all over the place. And because a lot of things happen at 9 o'clock, that doesn't really give you a lot of time to, like, have something savory, do all the photo ops you want to do, like, maybe do, like, one or two rides. Like, if you're an annual pass holder, just going on rides isn't too necessary. And, like, yeah, the lines are relatively short, or, like, there's no wait at all. Like, you and I were able to just walk right on Space Mountain, no problem. Walk on to Pirates of the Caribbean, no problem.
I don't think we waited in line for any ride. Heck, to the point that when we did Jungle Cruise, I stopped because I'm so used to stopping and waiting for the next boat. And they're like, no, we have room on this boat. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I'll get on the boat. We'll go down the river.
But I feel like if you're going to any of these After Dark events and you're an annual pass holder, I would say plan accordingly. Follow Gothic Rosie's Facebook page, because she usually has information, usually a day or two before the event, to know what you're getting into, what food's going to be served, and just kind of have a plan of action of what you want to prioritize and what you want to hit up. I wish this event was longer, like Mickey's Halloween Party, where everything starts at 6 o'clock and ends at midnight. I wish it was more in that format where they give you more time, because I would have loved to see more photo ops. I would have loved to see more projections on Main Street. I would have liked to just I felt like I really wanted to do more, but even though I did say, like, yeah, Videopolis was worth the ticket alone. Like, I could have been at Videopolis for like 4 hours straight for that entire night. I would have been happy. That would have sparked a lot of joy. Videopolis was just like my main highlight. And like, yeah, I don't mind paying $100 just to have this moment with Videopolis. But I really feel that, like, yeah, I felt like there was more I wanted to see because, like, they were offering all this stuff. I wanted to get, like, more opportunities for photo ops, but, like, yeah, lines were long for Roger Rabbit. Line was pretty long for Mousercise. No big deal, but I just kind of wish I just had more time to see everything because we only caught a little bit of the Totally Mini show that they were doing. I thought that was really cute. I wish I could stay for more. Who knows, maybe Minnie would have made an appearance towards the end.
I assume she does. That would make the most sense.
But like Justin of Random Land Adventure says, like, there's just so little time.
Yeah, because it's only 4 hours. It's 9 to 1 in the morning, and we stayed the entire time, which is not my original plan, but at a certain point, it's just like, well, you may as well stay for the next 30 minutes. You may as well get that one last ride in. You may as well get that one last, photo op in or whatever. But here's where a lot of my disappointments come in, and I'm going to go different than you. I'm going to say it's not worth the price. And I have a good reasoning, so I'm going to go through this step by step. One, I want to compare this to Heroes Night. So when we did Heroes Night, one of the things they had was a little scavenger hunt game. And if you played it, you got, some Avengers cards, and you got to do a photo thing with this little thing that looks like you have your own S.H.I.E.L.D. ID, which is clever and cute.
I really like that one.
Now, the thing about it is, you could start that scavenger hunt as soon as you could enter in. As soon as it was 6 o'clock and they were giving away the lanyards and what have you, you could go and do that. And that was great. It gave you something to do so that, yeah, we ended up doing that. And then after we got all that done, I went and had my Hero Burger and the All-American Shake, both of which were fantastic. I think the Hero Burger, or whatever it's called, Captain Burger or whatever, was and is my favorite Disney burger. And I hope that's a standard item over in Adventures Campus when that gets made. But it gave us something else to do. And like I said, I think we didn't do a single ride because we ended up doing all the photo op-y stuff, which was a lot of fun. Like I said earlier, Chip and Dale in the outfits, the Fab Five in the outfits. Great stuff. And that basically ate our entire night. A scavenger hunt and like a handful of photo ops. We walked past the Tony Stark photo op. Forget that. That was
3 hours. No. Like, no, thank you. I'm going to get pictures of the Fab Five bounding.
That would kill our entire ticket. Just to get a picture with a guy in an Iron Man suit.
Because that's why I was a little bit apprehensive. Like, I want to get a photo with Roger Rabbit, but I don't want to wait in this line.
Yeah, so the lines were kind of an inevitability, unfortunately, as we've seen in the previous nights. But there was something kind of there that kind of felt like it united everyone. Like, everyone was trying to do the scavenger hunt. Maybe probably a few people who were like, oh, I only get to go here every once in a while, I want to do the rides. But most people were doing the scavenger hunt. People were excited, getting the photo ops and stuff like that.
We ran into our friends doing the scavenger hunt. It's like, hey, you're doing this too? Awesome. And people were, like, helping each other out, which was like, hey, this is nice that people are being nice to each other.
And even little silly photo op stuff I had, like you could be in the collector's collection and stuff like that.
I like that photo op. That was like one of my favorite sets there.
They had one where you could be on like a comic book cover, and I think there was action figure toy, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So those were really fun and themed to the kind of thing. And now, look, the 80s doesn't quite work the same way. I'm not going to go and say... I mean, you could still do an action figure thing for the 80s, actually, but it doesn't quite work the same way. But it felt like there was like less to do. A lot of it was just... I'm going to dance with Goofy while waiting for Minnie to show up. I'm going to dance to some 80s hits with a bunch of other, 80s nostalgic nerd types. I'm going to listen to a band. It's not quite this, or I'm listening to a DJ. It's not quite the same level to me. Seeing Roger is great, but Roger does occasionally show up in Toontown. Mouser-sized Mickey and whatever Minnie's variation she was wearing. I think she had her official...
I think it was just Mickey, just in the Mouser-sized gear.
I bet she had her totally Minnie sunglasses or that she had on that.
I haven't really seen any photos of Minnie come out of 80s Night.
Okay. Well, again, how many people were sitting through the whole thing because you had too many things to do? So, because of that, it felt like nothing really united the nights together, and it felt like we weren't really... we didn't run into any friends or anything like that. Or if we did... No, I know some of our friends were there because Cosplay Parents were there, and I saw them the pictures. Their pictures look great, but we never ran into them at all. They're awesome people. And so that's my first initial kind of thing, is I feel like there was nothing really cohesive about the night. It was just like, hey, listen to music, and a few photo ops, some of which can be acquired at other times. I know they had the DuckTales. Huey, Dewey, and Louie were there, which the TV show's popular enough now where I get the feeling we're going to see Huey, Dewey, and Louie around a bit more. But I don't know. To me, it felt like there just wasn't as much cohesion. Maybe it's because Disneyland is larger than California Adventure, so maybe that also affects it a little bit. I'm not sure what it is, but the cohesion was lacking.
I felt there's cohesion over at Videopolis. I thought that was great because everyone was like staring at the screen and just like dancing while facing the stage.
There was, but again, you're not like having an interactive experience. I mean, okay, we are all dancing, we're all enjoying the same music, but to me, I don't know, there's something more about the scavenger hunt. There's something more about the hero outfits and stuff. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a nerd for superhero stuff. I don't know. It just didn't... I liked it, and I'm not going to say I hated it, because that would be lying. I loved going. But I don't know, I felt like the cohesion of Hero Nights. And the other one that's the bigger one to me, and this is... Well, the Magic Kingdom is to blame here. When they took that extra mile to modify the rides a little bit, and not even any over-the-top ways. Alice's Teacups had, like, scary music. You had Maleficent, taunting you on Space Mountain. They had a few live actors in Pirates of the Caribbean adding in a few extra lines and shenanigans. Just little things like that. And look, I understand it's hard to put the 80s into stuff, except for Space Mountain had a different theme song in the 80s.
I have to verify when Dick Dale did a song for Space Mountain.
Well, I thought they changed it in like the 90s or the 2000s.
Let me verify this, but keep talking.
I don't know, like just adding that little extra flavor would have been nice. And it felt like that flavor was lacking. Now, like I said, I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy myself. I did enjoy myself. It was a lot of fun. I'd like to do it again. Maybe I'll change up my outfit to something else. I was very disappointed when I realized, oh man, I could go as Dick Tracy. And I'm like, that was 1990. It felt really sad.
What I've heard with 90s Night, they had a lot more change in the park. I do know they brought back a Disney Afternoon Avenue and all the characters that were roaming around during Disney Afternoon Avenue. I regret not getting tickets for 90s Night.
That sold out like that though.
It actually sold out like a week before. There were still tickets.
Oh,
but
poop.
What happened was I'm just trying to remember.
You had some sort of life thing going.
I probably had like work that day.
But whatever.
It was probably like a work type thing I had to take care of or something.
Yeah, I thought they sold out. So
they actually sold out like a week before, I think, because they were still available, but then like shortly before they ended up selling out.
A lot of these After Dark events will sell out, so just bear that in mind. And I guess I was wrong on 90s Night when it sold out. But I don't know, like just little extra touches like that would have really been nice. And I'm not saying this was half-assed or bad or anything. They came up with some original recipes, hit and miss. They, had they did try. Videopolis is so neon, and I love it. It's so tacky and neon, and I the fact that they came up with a whole routine for one night for Minnie's music video, which was probably never going to be done again at Fantasyland, which means these people had to learn all these moves and whatever they had to do and hype the audience for one freaking night. I really do appreciate that. But like, Villains Night had a Maleficent dragon rolling down Main Street. Things like that really just added a little extra flavor. Even if they did Mickey's Super 80s Parade, and I don't know, but bring back the electrical. Really can't do that. That's already in California Adventure.
I can bring it back.
It's in California Adventure. You don't need to move it back to the.
And it's not California Adventure. They had the electric parade going on at Disney, like I think last summer, ish. And then they were no, they had it at a main.
Well, then bring back Electrical Parade. I don't even like the Electrical Parade, but at least I like it's something. I hate the music. It's very light, and I do like Robot Voice saying "Welcome to Disneyland's Main Street Electrical Parade. I am a robots." I do like that. Maybe if we had the fireworks, that would have added something to the experience.
Dick Dale, 1996.
See?
1996, he did the theme for Space
Mountain. When was the theme before Dick Dale?
I don't know.
Well, that's the theme they should have used.
Nothing?
It had to have had a theme.
If anyone knows this piece of any Space Mountain trivia, just mention that in the comments.
Look, if it was silent, let's do it that way. Where it can have a sign saying silent, like it was in the 80s. You know, and then have a sign that says, on Space Mountain, no one can hear you scream.
Well, they have the rights to it now.
Yeah, so they could totally have used that, and it would have been fun. It would remind us of stuff.
The aliens on Fox, right?
Hey, they had a extraterrestrial alien encounter at one point.
This is true.
So they've done
but that
stuff.
That was 90s in Magic Kingdom.
I know. Well, it was.
We could have had it.
Could have had it. The
We were
point.
pretty close to having it, but Paris happened.
No, yeah, well, that's Disney history stuff. My point is, I feel like this could have been. There could have just been a little extra. And look, I'll admit, I am a bit salty that on the East Coast they get free popcorn and free sodas and free Mickey bars, because, dude, that is totally worth the price right there.
And they are doing Villains After Dark again, starting in February. Villains After Hours.
Yeah, that'll be at California Adventure.
I'm talking about...
Disneyland?
No, Kingdom. Magic
Kingdom.
They're actually starting Villains After Hours earlier this time around, starting in February.
I would like to go to that, but I don't have wings. Someone wants to give me wings. That would be nice.
You can donate to our Ko-Fi so we can maybe get...
Donate enough for me to fly to Florida.
No, we would just need money to cover hotel tickets. I mean, we have freaking flyer miles with Southwest, so we can use our freaking flyer points to get to Florida.
Yay, credit card points. And we need to recharge our magic bands while we're... We're asking for a little money.
Yes, just donate to our Ko-Fi so we can go to Florida to cover Villains After Hours.
Oh, God. I'm laughing too hard. So, yeah, my overall experiences with the events at Disney has been kind of mixed, but like I said, Heroes Night was amazing for me. I loved Heroes Night. It's another one we stayed all the way till 1 a.m. and no one wanted to leave, as I recall. We're sitting there for everyone else in California Adventure, like, we don't really want to leave yet. We want to still hang out with people. And Star Wars Night had its moments. I'll even admit that. And they even brought back some of the photo op props from Star Wars Night, so you could do the Hoth Cave and you could do the speeder bikes. So they bring those back. I was not going to do the Hoth Cave again. I already did it once. But it's one of those things where I think what made Star Wars Night was the fact that they had those rare photo ops where I could get a photo op with Ahsoka. I could get a photo op with... They have Sabine there as well?
Yes, they had a Sabine. We had a photo op with Sabine and Chopper.
Yes, Sabine wanted to recruit me to be a double agent. That was fun. And I believe we saw Ahsoka. So there stuff like that actually does mean something to me. It was always kind of cool. And I realized I have zero nostalgia for Mouser Size as I never saw it. And I never saw the Totally Mini special, so I have no nostalgia for that. I never went to Videopolis, so I have no nostalgia for that. So I realized that stuff that's really making everyone's eyes bug out of their heads, like
me,
doesn't do anything for me. Where I'm like, this means nothing to me. I understand what it is historically, but there's no flashback to little Jared really loving this. The only things you got is Roger Rabbit, which, yeah, maybe I could have stayed in line for, or not. I know it's a gamble with him showing up in Toontown every once in a while, but, you know, I'd rather get a photo of his wife. And then, like, Huey, Dewey, and Louie would have been cool, but I have no idea where they were even at.
They were at the front of the park. They're, like, where Minnie usually does her photo ops over at the Main Street Pub.
That was, like, so far away from everything else we were doing.
And I think the problem with having After Dark events at over in the main park is everything is way spread out.
Yeah. So when we're trying to go over towards Critter Country for food, and then I need to run all the way over to Tomorrowland for Tron, I don't have the time to go all the way to the end of Main Street. At least if, you know, this was during the day, I could hop on, like, the trolley car or something like that and get across Main Street a lot faster. But, or whatever you want to call it, the horse-drawn carriage thingy or whatever. Or the auto bus. I don't care. Whatever is going around at the time.
I was showing Jay a photo of the Ewok and a friend of ours.
Ewok is way too tall. I do not appreciate that. It's fine. It's cute. Whatever. But yeah, a friend of ours. So the person we know was there.
Yeah, cosplay parents.
Yeah, they've been posting their photos. They look adorable. So yeah, I guess those are my gripes. I think if you have a nostalgia for these things, if you had the Disney Channel growing up, then you're going to have a very different experience than I did. If you went to Disneyland a lot more during that time period, you'd have a lot more of an experience than I did. I liked the food. I liked the Tron thing. That was because that was a huge part of my childhood. And, you know, I lament not getting Roger Rabbit. I think I can pull it off at another time, and probably not while dressed up as a military officer. Maybe dressed up as something else.
Judge Doom.
Judge Doom. No, that's not my style.
Like suits and shades and
I'm more of an
hats.
Eddie Valiant. I'm more of like a washed out, drunk PI. Ooh, or Toon Patrol.
Yes, I was gonna say because I still have my Toon Patrol bound in the closet.
You do. I can put one together. I can figure this out. I need to check out their designs, but the point is.
Oh my god! Missed opportunity to do Toon Patrol.
I wouldn't have thought about it because I don't know why I keep considering it a 90s movie, even though I know it was 89 because mentally, of a memory it's associated with.
Yeah, because mentally I've always associated Who Framed Roger Rabbit in that cluster of like 1930s like Disney movies like Rocketeer, Dick Tracy. Because
God,
like
I love both those movies.
I love all three of those movies.
Yeah, all three of those movies are great. Those three movies.
Like, yeah, if they ever do 90s Night again, I know you're gonna whip out Dick Tracy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love that costume. That is my favorite.
And I do have a Breathless
costume.
Mahoney cosplay. So yes, we will rock Madonna and Warren Beatty.
Yeah. And then if we have any friends, there's plenty of Rogues Gallery characters to go as.
Or we'll go as the Weasels from Toon Patrol.
Yeah, if we have a couple other people, I will totally. Not have to be 80s Night again, but yeah.
Or just any time in general.
Anytime in general, yeah, it's true.
Because Toon Patrol has been the list of like my Disney squad goals for like the longest time.
So yeah, like I said, I think if 80s Night, your mileage would vary. For her, it was a lot more nostalgic. For me, it was a lot less nostalgic. I think in terms of like the list of even upcoming things, I'd be much more interested in Villains Night because at the very least, I can get a photo with like, you know, Wicked Queen and give her my favorite pickup line, which is, "The mirror lied, you are the fairest of them all." So damn smooth. I am the best. And they might have, ideally, Yzma's llama juice again, which would be freaking great.
If only we could have what they had over at Kingdom.
They could bring it over. It's like fruit punch and like a few other fizzy stuff, and I think there's one other thing in there.
They also had the Hades Cosmo.
Yeah, which is a mocktail. Which so
it was so really good.
It was really good. I was so expecting booze. Like, I don't taste the booze yet. Drink a little further. There's no booze in this at all, is there? I was so disappointed. This is delicious, but I wanted to get drunk off of a Hades drink. It was all pink and purple and it was delicious, but I wanted to have some vodka in there.
Overall thoughts on 80s Night.
You know what? Take a look at what this year had to offer. There's plenty of people posting their photos. There's probably a web zone or something you can look at the listing.
Check out Disneyland After Dark on Instagram and on Twitter. That's where I've been like to seeing everyone's photos.
If this stuff appeals to you, if this stuff hits that nostalgic button for you, go. You will love it. If you're looking at going like, I wouldn't mind some of these photo ops, but you know,
because the photo ops actually do come with a ticket. But since we're already on Max Pass, we get free unlimited photo ops anyway. But I will also say this.
We're APers.
Yes, I'll also say this: like, if you're someone who hasn't done Disney in a while, and you want to go on Disney when it's guaranteed not to be crowded, and where you could just walk on the rides. You don't have to do the 80s stuff. You can just go walk on the rides and just have the whole park to yourself. If you just want to go, if you want to just take that angle, like use any of these After Dark events
or the Halloween event
to Halloween that's only DC only for this year.
Yeah, but that's Guardians, that's Incredicoaster, that's Monsters Inc. I mean, you got some awesome choices.
You do, but if you want to do Disneyland and you haven't gone in a while and you just don't want to deal with the lines of the crowd, like it's 80. These After Dark events, they're not too crowded, so you don't have to worry about crowding. You don't have to worry about stroller moms. You also don't have to worry about waiting in line too long because, we just walked right on Space Mountain.
Yeah, not a lot of parents of kids. I think I saw a few kids, but not that much, to be honest. But every ride was a walk-on. I can't think of a single thing we waited for. Or if we did, we waited, that whole, we're sorting people, give us a second. I think, even Indy, there was just, here, the only reason it was slowed down is because I think they had, only one side working on Indy. And that was it. And that wasn't even a slowdown at all. That was a, we run into the line while they're just trying to sort people. And, like, that's it. So we got we got what you would normally get at those last 10 feet before you get on the car.
It's right before you just go down the stairs on the queue.
So, it is great for that. And if, you think you can power through all the rides in 4 hours, more power to you. I don't know. I feels like that's a waste to me, but I see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming in, if you don't have a annual pass and you just want to, like, just do Disneyland, just like a once a year type of thing, because you can still get at 6 o'clock. So yeah, like.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You actually can squeeze it out to be more like 7 hours. No, never mind. I'll take it back. I changed my opinion on that. If you want to do it as a ride person, that's 7 hours. You can cover the park.
Yeah, you can cover park, no problem. Like, grab yourself a dinner over at Downtown Disney before you're allowed to enter. Mm-hmm. Take over to park, have fun. Yeah. But if you're past holes like us, like, yeah, know what you want to prioritize. Follow Gothic Rosie's Facebook page, because she usually posts things right before the event, so you know what you're getting into. And Jay and I, we even took some time, even though we knew like what we wanted to do, just kind of look at the map to just kind of look at, okay, this is what we want to prioritize and have a plan of action. But also kind of be flexible at the same time too, because we weren't planning on stopping by Totally Minnie's dance party. Like, oh, hey, like, want to just check this out, right?
Well, because we were doing the photo op thing, and we're like, oh, they're doing a thing. Let's see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And it's also nice to see like the Fab Five in like just different outfits too, because Donald has a director outfit, and Goofy had like his jazzercise outfit because he's a choreographer.
Yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm. And again, like, I just think just having a plan of action, just knowing what you want to prioritize, what food places you want to hit, and just kind of like just keeping a route in mind. Normally, I don't do the strategy anytime in the parks because, like, okay, I'll just do whatever. But because you have such a limited time, know what you want to prioritize. And
I'm going to say it right now. Don't waste your time with the hearty foods. Just don't. Just eat a dinner beforehand and then say, oh, I want to try this unique churro, or I want to try this unique milkshake or something, and go for that. That would be my number one food rule.
Because I think like the hearty foods, they'll slow you down for the night.
It's not even a slow you down thing. It's more the point of they take longer to cook and they take longer to eat, and you're usually going to be sitting down eating those. You can't walk around eating a sloppy Joe. It's going to fall on the floor. You have to eat that on a plate at a table, and you're wasting time, in my opinion. You go home and make a manwich. It's not that big a deal. And I feel bad saying that because those are things I wanted to try. They had the Sloppy Joe potatoes or whatever, and I really wanted to try that. But by the time I got to 9 o'clock, and not even 9 o'clock directly, because at around 9 o'clock we were having churros and popcorn, and that was friggin' great.
Except for the popcorn.
Except for the popcorn. Ugh. So angry about that.
I am too. When you see something that has bacon and cheese, I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, nah.
No, it's not good. But the point is, by the time I got that hour, I'm not thinking, oh man, I need like some loaded potatoes. I'm thinking, man, I wonder if I could go and handle 3 churros tonight. I probably could. I mean, because I split them, so that helps. So it's really more like 1.5 churros. But yeah, I think that's kind of the best advice we can really give. Like I said, for me, it was, if I have to give it a rating, out of 5, I'd say it was like a 2.5 out of 5, maybe a 2 out of 5. Just there, kind of like right there about average, below average for me, which really wasn't, I wanted it to be better. And I'm glad that I went and I enjoyed myself, but there's a difference between personal enjoyment and recommendation. Like there's movies I enjoy that I would never recommend to people. I'm like, no, don't waste your time with this garbage. I like this because of, various reasons, but don't waste your time with this. Like my family tradition of watching the Star Wars Holiday Special. I don't recommend that, but it does have special memories to me, and so I enjoy watching it once a year. Yeah, I said it. B. Arthur is a national treasure.
All right, shall we wrap up our first episode of Eat the Magic Escapades?
Yep. So remember, you can always check out all our links in the description below. You should watch all our episodes. We have an episode dedicated to 80s Nite. It should already be up, I believe.
They'll be up in a few, but by the time this podcast
is up,
they'll be up.
Yes. And if you ever see me at the park, by all means, say hi. or either of us, I guess, at the park. You can say hi. And if you ever
need
have
friends.
We do need Oh, I'm sad now. And of course, if you have any food you want me to check out, whether it is a standard everyday food at Disneyland or if it is a special holiday event food, just put a nice little comment. We will try to get to it when we can. I only have so many stomachs and I only have so many days in the week I can go to Disneyland. Until next time, I'm Jay for Eri saying it's time to eat the magic.